it's not particularly about the build that we're doing itself, but challenging that question of, if you wanted to build something and you had a 5-year architecture degree, what is possible?
Would you like to describe how this project came to be?
Yeah, it came to fruition through yarning to Ant and Yash just about, well, Yash initially, about small scale projects that previous students had done just out of uni or during uni. And that got us pretty fired up, pretty excited about the prospect. We were like, oh man, what could we do? Essentially, so we started, thinking about projects and scale, and with the connection to that I have to Aotea, Great Barrier, sort of landed on looking out there to see if there was an opportunity, and we thought private initially for the sake of architecture, but then thought how could we have more impact and greater impact on people and community. So we reached out to the schools, and Kaitoke came back. I think, obviously going to the school, feeling out the land and the context that we're going to be building this thing on. Maybe meeting some of the kids, be pretty sweet, and then running around and seeing what crazy shit we can find, or any cool gems that can go towards the build. Yarning to just the local geezers.
I have been thinking about this a lot, and I think it's like a very simple idea. Entry-level architecture is pretty much the best way to put it, and maybe one of the reasons is that architecture is only reserved for people that are above 30 plus or even 40, due to it being a huge experience gap. So it's just trying to like shorten that experience gap to, shortening that experience gap post-university to increase the amount of actual architects and good architecture that's being produced in the future.
And we get like a whole holistic view of a project rather than being a graduate.
Yeah.
To like just
instead of being drip fed, you just jump in and you're like,
from conception
fuck.
to build.
Yeah. That whole process, it's not particularly about the build that we're doing itself, but challenging that question of, if you wanted to build something and you had a 5-year architecture degree, what is possible? And if it's not possible, why is it not possible? And
at the moment with the project, we're quite early on, and what we're trying to do now is garner as much advice as we can, talk to people, know about the logistics and liabilities and all of those sorts of things before we get going.
Because New Zealand's beautiful in the sense that you're kind of 1 or 2 people away from knowing pretty much everyone in the industry, but I guess our challenge is getting through to those 1 or 2 people, and finding our way to be convincing.
And then once we get to the build stage, it's using those relationships that we've built, sort of leveraging builders that know how to get stuff done on the island, learning from them and doing it with them. And hopefully we come up with something that's absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
And an experience at the end of it all.